Hi everyone, this is Alan Rosinski from Metro Manhattan Office Space. About a month into the COVID crisis, the New York City commercial real estate market is in chaos. It's in disarray. I don't think anybody has ever seen anything like this. What makes this situation so unique is how suddenly it's occurred, and because of the shelter-in-place order in New York City, that businesses are frozen and no transactions are taking place. So this is really having a huge impact on landlords, on tenants, and on brokers. For commercial landlords, they're seeing a wave of defaults. Many tenants, a large percentage of tenants, did not pay their rent in April. The tenants don't have revenue. And probably a large percentage of them aren't going to pay in May either. Many of these landlords, they have mortgages to pay, and they depend on the rental income to pay their mortgages. So it puts many landlords at risk of default on their mortgages. Now, from a tenant's point of view, they're seeing no business activity. They've been hit very, very hard, and their priority is, in many cases, protecting their staff rather than paying the rent. And also complicating matters, there's been a moratorium in New York City on evictions until June 20th. So what's going on right now is landlords are in discussion with tenants on negotiating deferrals of rent for a month or a few months, or maybe even abatements in certain situations. It's just at this point not clear who's going to stay and who's going to leave. Last time we had a serious downturn in the financial crisis, tenants could access their space. And, some of them would disappear in the middle of the night, but they'd be able to get into their spaces, remove their belongings, and leave. And this is just very, very different because nobody is willing to go outside, and everything is non-functional. Even if there were tenants looking for space, no broker wants to be out there. Nobody really wants to look at a space. I mean, really the effect, we've discussed the effect on landlords and tenants. For brokers, it means really a cessation of business. That for the moment, there are no new transactions occurring, which is to be expected under these circumstances. Now, moving forward, there's going to be an avalanche of available space. Hopefully, when things settle down and the shelter-in-place order is lifted and people can get back to work, at least starting in certain industries and on a limited basis, it'll become clear who's staying and who's leaving. And at that point, there'll be deliveries of space on the market with pricing, and there'll, at a certain point, be a history of transactions. So we'll see where the pricing is going to be. Without a doubt, the pricing is going to drop considerably. This is going to be the sharpest economic downturn since World War II. So you'd think there's going to be a lot of space on the market, and it could present a real opportunity for tenants in industries that are doing well and may need expansion space, maybe certain startups who want to lease their first space. In my opinion, rents are going to drop anywhere from 30 to 45% for the short term. What I have read is that a very, very strong, a historically strong recovery is expected in the third quarter. So these opportunities will be around for a while, but not permanently. Hopefully it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. In terms of office space, the whole market is going to change. These co-working spaces, any space which had a high density of team members, which employed benches, that's going to be out. People are going to want to have space around them. It's probably going to be mandated by the law that there's social distancing. Also, what's going to change is many employees, in all likelihood, will continue to work from home. Telecommuting, teleworking has gained acceptance in the last month, and it's very possible that that's going to continue and it's going to be permanent into the future. So from a certain point of view, companies will need less space because they have fewer employees. However, the employees that do use their offices will require more space, and they're certainly not going to be seated on benches in the future. And I think there's going to also be a wave of tenants coming out of co-working space who are going to be looking for their private demise space. The idea of being in a facility with in close proximity to many other people, I don't think that's going to work. And as I said in a previous video, I think many of the co-working facilities will go out of business, in particular WeWork. But we will see. It's going to be interesting in the future. I'm going to keep you all posted in future videos. Have a nice evening, stay healthy, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you find this information interesting. Good night now.